welcome back. It's Fiifi-Manfred here on YouTube again. Thank you very much for choosing us. Welcome back. It's a holiday here in Ghana, Constitutional Day, but yet we are here to give you the best of football tactical analysis here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to the channel, pause now, subscribe to the channel, go back and turn on your notification in there. After that, make sure you do choose all so that immediately there is new content here you are first to get it. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. We give you the best of football, tactical, and every other analysis. Of course, it's the best, most nuanced based football analysis that you are going to get on YouTube. My name again is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I'm glad to have you here. Let's get into the conversations, and just for preliminary talks, I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to talk about. Chelsea are in the Carabao Cup semi-final. It's a big one. Mauricio Pochettino has a very good run when he's playing against Boro in the Carabao Cup, and of course playing the Carabao Cup. The last time Chelsea were in the final, Pochettino was in the dugout for Spurs. So it is a big one, important one for a team that's in transition. A game like this is a big one for them, and they need to do a lot more to be able to win. So Chelsea knows it's imperative for them to put a very good performance to be able to win a Carabao Cup. So yes, it is an important game for Chelsea Football Club, and they know that they need to do a lot more to be able to win, because hey, you watch that game that Boro played against Aston Villa. It was not an easy game. Yes, they lost, but they played very well and they could have won. So it's an important one for Chelsea. They need to do more to be able to win. Apart from that, there's updates on Chelsea's injury issues as it stands now. There's a lot of transfer stuff. Benoit Bella-Chile, Lavia, Nkuku, Chelsea and injured players, Robert Sanchez. Everybody has an update for you. Mauricio Pochettino has given an update on what Chelsea's transfer strategy is in January. I'm breaking the story here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. You stick to it. Let's talk about it. Also, Kylian Mbappe. Yes, that boy, his name is Kylian. Kylian is his name, and he has a very big ego. Very big ego. I see. There is no problem if a player has a very big ego, if he has the skill set, the talent, and then the ability to match it. I don't have a problem. And Kylian has shown that regardless of his big ego, he is a big man and can handle everything. What are the deeds of Kylian Mbappe in there as a player, and what's going to happen to him with respect to Madrid and other teams? I'll tell you about that also. Arsenal is falling again like the elephants that get on top of the tree, and everybody is laughing. Are Arsenal really in the point where they are going to lose the English Premier League again? Or is it just because they are in a hard time? Should Arsenal fans be patient with them, or it's going to be a tough one for them? For Manchester United, I've told you earlier on that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is in. It is just a matter of formalities for the English Premier League board to get them to accept them, and officially they'll start work. 25% of Manchester United. We'll talk about them also. Then there is the big one, Victor Osimhen. You know, Victor is with the Nigerian team preparing for the AFCON, and his entourage has spoken to one of my friends in a big Nigerian outlet. I spoke to him, and he's telling me that there's something, this thing, that can make sure that Victor gets to join Chelsea in the summer. And there's one thing that is definitely not going to be a problem. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I am grateful to have you here. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, pause, go back, subscribe to the channel, and do turn on notification, because we give you the best of every football analysis that you want here. Let's get into the conversation now. So first of all, we'll start with our AFCON tidbits, and I'll start with a very familiar player. There's a player that was born in Egypt, an Egyptian. They call him the Egyptian God, top player. He has won it all with Liverpool, won the Champions League, won the English Premier League, seen it all in the league, record goal scoring, 150 and more, one of the best and most scoring African players in the English Premier League, getting on top in terms of the legend status at Anfield. He's a big player, but really, he may go down as one of the most unluckiest players, or the most unlucky player for the Pharaohs of Egypt if this goes on. And I'll tell you why. First of all, his name is Mohamed Salah. the Egyptian king they call him. Mohamed Salah made his debut for the big African giants, the Pharaohs of Egypt, on 2011. Before 2011, in 2010, between the years of 1998 and 2010, the Egyptian Pharaohs had won 4 African Cup of Nations. Players like Ahmed Shakini and the likes had won 4 of them. They have been Trezeguet and the like who had won consistently for this Egyptian team. But mind you, just in 2011, when Salah made his debut for Egypt, there was the Arab uprising, the Islamic Spring, the Arab Spring that went on in Tunisia, in Algeria, in Egypt, and the Egyptian president Hosni Mubarak and his children were at the center of all of this conversation. It affected everything, including football, and of course, Mohamed Salah also suffered. So in 2012, in the African Cup of Nations, there was no Egypt because they couldn't qualify. 2013, there was no Egypt, they couldn't qualify. 2015 was saying they made a grand return in 2017, where Mohamed Salah single-handedly controlled possession, did all the brilliant stuff, and took Egypt to the final of the African Cup of Nations in 2017. They faced the almighty indomitable Lions, Cameroon, and then of course in the final, the indomitable Lions prevailed, and then they won the cup. In the year after that, Mohamed Salah came back with his Egyptian team, but then mind you, they were bundled out of the competition by South Africa. South Africa at the time weren't even performing very well, but then they bundled Egypt out of the competition. And then after that, Egypt have struggled to win the African Cup of Nations. In 2023, however, they are going to Ivory Coast, hoping that they can win and win for Mohamed Salah. So yes, Salah may go down as one of the most unluckiest Egyptian players if really this AFCON goes on and he's not able to win. That is by way of our AFCON debate in there here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. If you've not subscribed, pause again, go back and subscribe, because you are really getting into the main beats from here. Let's get into it. Transfer conversation. Victor Osimhen or Kylian Mbappe? Who do I start with? Osimhen, Mbappe. Osimhen, Mbappe. Mbappe. So I was watching the World Cup captains documentary, and see, I'd even forgotten that Mbappe actually scored a hat-trick in the World Cup. Boy, hat-trick in a World Cup final against Lionel Messi's Argentina. Mbappe is whoever he thinks he is. If there have been times where French President Nicolas Sarkozy, former French President, Nicolas Sarkozy, current President Emmanuel Macron, and other big stalwarts in France will do everything for financial reasons, through tourism and whatnot, and for Mbappe to be the face of French football, for them to keep him in the French League. Maybe you didn't understand why would sometimes people in the political elite will push for players to stay in leagues like that. This is one of the reasons. Mbappe is whoever he thinks he is. And there's a part of that video where his brother Ethan is in the stands and he just shakes his head. He knows that his brother is just up there. Randall Colomwani first penalty, got it for Mbappe. Mbappe slotted it in. Beautiful stuff in there. Then Colomwani also set him up again. It was a mid-air volley or a falling volley. Bam, 2-2. Then Lionel Messi does his thing, scores in extra time. Mbappe takes on player, turns in and out, and bam, he's down. There is a penalty, and Mbappe again slots it. He goes to the penalty spot, looks Ibu Martinez in his eyes, and says, "Hey, I'll slot it." He slots it again. Top mental player. And there's the way Mbappe and his entourage. This afternoon, Fabrice Hawkins is reporting that yes, Mbappe's entourage have received an offer from Real Madrid, but they have not agreed at anything. They are looking at it because they want to make sure that they are the main people at Real Madrid. Now, mind you, if Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, there's Jude Bellingham, who is in and around his age. There's Vinicius Junior in and around his age. Rodrigo Goes in and around his age. There is also Vinny, Rodrigo Goes, Joselu. All of these players who are in and around his age, apart from Joselu, obviously. Is he going to be the main man? Is Mbappe going to be the main man? Because already it looks as if Jude Bellingham has taken over the place by storm. Can he walk into that dressing room of the Los Blancos and then be the main guy, because he wants to be the main guy? Going to Madrid is supposed to be the final step to he possibly winning the Ballon d'Or. Is that going to be a place for him? Or is just going to be another member of the Galacticos? And that is one thing that Mbappe's entourage are looking at, led by his mother, Faiza Lamari. Lamari is a brutal negotiator. If you ask yourself, what can somebody like Veronique Rabiot do to Adrian Rabiot with respect to being a mother and an agent at the same time. Pfizer does it even better, has other players that does that job for her, and they will peruse that contract, make sure that immediately Mbappe goes there, it's a big one for them. Again, he is holding off at signing any pre-contract agreement. He wants to wait till the summer, put all the options on the table. Liverpool, Chelsea, Real Madrid. Of course, Madrid is the biggest of all the teams, but they will look at it. They will look at which places the project is more exciting, more juicy for us to take over and then get a job that they are not going to be forced into any contract signing as it stands now for Paris Saint-Germain and Kylian Mbappe. That is it. That's what's going on now. They will not be forced into signing any contract as it stands now. They will take their time. They'll peruse the contract. They will get the best for Kylian Mbappe because they believe that he is a big player and is up next for anything that's up for him. So yeah, Mbappe hasn't signed a contract after all the news that was going back and forth. Fabrice Hawkins has confirmed that Mbappe hasn't signed any contract as it stands now, and he's looking at a few other things that is yet to go on for Kylian Mbappe. Also, apart from Kylian Mbappe's conversation in there is that one about Victor Osimhen and Chelsea. Hey, so you see, Victor Osimhen is another big egoed player. Again, anytime I speak about Osimhen, I tell you the first time I saw Victor Osimhen here in Ghana was such a menacing player, so confident, doesn't look fast about anything, just walked in with his chest and shoulder out and literally dominating the space that he was in as a player. There is good news for Chelsea. The good news is that Victor Osimhen's entourage have told Chelsea and have told an outlet in Nigeria that qualifying for Europe or Chelsea playing in Europe may not be a big factor for them to turn on Chelsea or not. They don't care. They may want to get a job done. Also in England, in London, Chelsea have signed a pre-contract. Are looking to sign a pre-contract agreement. They have looked at Victor Osimhen's evaluation of 120 million, and they think that it's something that they can work around, and then they are looking at getting that job done, signing it, getting it done even before the summer. Victor Osimhen from Chelsea. Yes, there are only a few things that they'll be checking. They'll be checking the injury record. They'll be checking a few things. The future of Amanda Broya, and then of course Nicolas Jackson when he returns. What are the rotations going to be like amongst these players? An important thing for them to do going forward, and these are the things that they are going to be checking in there for Chelsea Football Club. So those are the big two transfer football conversations. If you've seen any transfer that says that Jordan Henderson is going to move from Al-Ettifaq to Chelsea, just laugh. That is just agents doing their job. Agents will throw every information to media men to put it out there to create a perception. Jordan Henderson is never going to be a Chelsea player. Chelsea are not interested in him. Conor Gallagher is not moving an inch from Chelsea, and that is it over there for them in there as well. So at Arsenal, so I keep on asking myself, that do people actually think that Arsenal are that bad just because of 5 games? After I've been losing back-to-back games, the last one was the game against Liverpool, when people thought that, hey, at home at the Emirates, when you go away to Anfield, it's a little bit difficult. But when you're at home, you're able to hold your own. Saka is just a little bit slightly below his regular form, and he's not really finding his feet. He's not playing some very, very good football as you expect him to play for Arsenal. And Mikel Arteta is in trouble. Now, if you go back and look at the English Premier League table, look at where they were before the recent run of forms, and then exactly where they are now. Manchester City have had Kevin De Bruyne back now. He came into the game, set up a goal for Jeremy Doku. There is Ellen Brot-Haaland returning. Now, people keep on asking that, is this going to be the end of Arsenal Football Club? When the second round resumes around the 30th and the 31st of January, are we going to see Man City go on a long winning streak with Kevin De Bruyne returning, or Arsenal are going to falter? So, Arsenal are now down to 4th with just 40 points now. Aston Villa 42, Liverpool 45, with 20 games played in there. Tottenham Hotspur on 5th behind them with 39. There is Brighton and Hove Albion, West Ham United, Manchester United, Chelsea, Newcastle United. Chelsea are just 2 points, 3 points actually away from Manchester United and Newcastle and Brighton and Hove Albion, even in a season where Chelsea's season seems to be bad. I think that Arsenal are just in their rough patch of their season. Everybody gets their rough patch of their season. And the biggest test for Mikel Arteta this term will be how to manage the situation now at this part of their season in terms of players being out of form. How do you manage the rest of the team? How do you get them in? Last season, it was the biggest one that he could not control, and that is the injury of William Saliba. This time, I think that if you look at how good Arsenal have been, where they've come from, the kind of players that they've had, trying to get some players to play in a particular way, the likes of Odegaard and the likes, I don't think Arsenal are down and out yet. I don't think that they are down and out yet. I think that you need to be a little bit more patient with Arsenal. I think that they may come good. The season isn't over. It's still a close contest between Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Aston Villa at the top. And anything at all can happen in the course of the league. So that's it for Arsenal Football Club. And then let's get into it finally for Chelsea. So Mauricio Pochettino's pre-match press conference ahead of the game against in a Carabao Cup against Boro. It's a big game. A very big game for Chelsea, and then a big game for Boro. You look at the game that Boro played against the game that they played against Aston Villa. Played very good stuff. Played some good football, but ended up not winning. Aston Villa were able to win, and then they bundled them out of the competition. Now, Boro, in the games that they play subsequent to this, tend to play high octane, press very high, and they mix it up sometimes. They chase games, they're very aggressive, and that's the kind of football that Chelsea doesn't like. You watch the game that Chelsea played against Preston, and you know that if Chelsea go and play a game like this against Boro, then they're in trouble. They're in big trouble, because hey, if you play a game like that against them, it's going to be difficult for you to get results. You may not come back. Chelsea had to wait about the 68th minute to get the results and to get to hit the ground running and to be playing some good football. And that's the thing. You can't wait and warm yourself up into games. If you allow yourself to say, okay, I'm warming myself up into game, you don't hit the intensity on and take teams like Middlesbrough to the cleaners, then you're in trouble. You are going to be in serious trouble. In the lead up to this game, Middlesbrough has played 5 games. They've lost 3 of them. They've won 2. They hardly do they draw, because they score a lot and they concede a lot as well. Chelsea are seemingly in a very good run of form. After that loss that they had, since then they've been able to get some very good wins. And I think against Everton, after that loss, Chelsea have been getting some good wins in there at home and even away. And it's a big one for Chelsea to go and play against Middlesbrough. The last time Chelsea faced Middlesbrough in the FA Cup on the 19th of March 2022, Chelsea able to win by 2-0. The head-to-head is in favor of Chelsea. Chelsea tend to be winning a lot of those games head-to-head in there. Romelu Lukaku did score, and then Hakim Ziyech also were able to score. But then there's a different Middlesbrough side, a team that you would want to be very careful of. You don't think that it's going to be easy for you to play against Middlesbrough in a game that they're going to play against Chelsea. They usually play in a 4-2-3-1. Like I told you, they press in a 4-1-4-1, very aggressive up top, try to win the ball back. Sometimes you're unable to do that, then they sit in a mid-block, try and wait till you lose possession, then they catch you on a counter-attack with players like Jones on the wings, who are very pacey, very aggressive and direct when they go into the counter-attack for themselves. So it's going to be a 4-2-3-1 versus a 4-2-3-1. Our base are going to be variations. They will press in a 4-1-4-1. Chelsea will sit in a more like 4-4-2 without the ball and see how they can win the ball from out of. So it's a dicey game. Chelsea are going away first. It's a tough one. Pochettino in his pre-match press conference has said that he thinks that Chelsea can get a job done against Boro. I bet it's going to be a very difficult game for Chelsea to play. He has also made mention of the fact that Chelsea are not looking at signing players outrightly. They are assessing the transfer window, and then they will look at a few other things before they make a conclusion as to who to bring in this transfer window. And they are looking at all of these things small to make draw a proper conclusion for Chelsea Football Club as it stands now. So still on the Middlesbrough game, I think that, you see, if you look at Middlesbrough and the kind of games that they've played in a championship, most of the championship teams are able to take teams on, whether home or away, and it's same for Middlesbrough. Now, in promotion places, Leicester City and Ipswich Town are up there, 65-55 points. Teams like Southampton, Leeds United, West Bromwich Albion, Sunderland, Hull City, Coventry, Cardiff, Watford, Bristol, and Middlesbrough are 12 with just 36 points. But mind you, the points are very close to each other, and it's a very rugged, typical English side no nonsense, go into battles, win the aerial duels, sit in the middle block, and they are fine this competition because they've been able to grind a lot of results. So Chelsea can't afford to play lackluster like they did in the first half against Preston Town. They need to do more. If you fail, they're going to score from set pieces, from headers, and then they are going to be in trouble. And Chelsea know that they need to do more. It is Michael Carrick's Middlesbrough side. Very good 4-2-3-1. Very good variations, very good automatisms that I've seen in his teams. They are playing first at home. It's going to be a tough game for Chelsea, like I said earlier. But hey, it's a game that can go anyway. Chelsea have shown that they know how to play games like this. So yeah, let's see how it goes. The last time I told you they played against Aston Villa beat them by a goal to 0 and was away at Middlesbrough as well. And now there's Chelsea and the likes to come on the horizon. Difficult one. In the cup competition, they had met Port Vale at some point in time in the conversation, which was a seemingly easy game. They played against Exeter City as well, seemingly easy one. Now the big one that they are going to play after even playing also Bradford City in the round 3, also over there. Now the biggest one is going to be this one that they are going to play against Chelsea. In round 2 they met Bolton Wanderers, also not in the English Premier League. They met Huddersfield Town in the first one. That one was a 3-2, very close one. Huddersfield had a red card. So Chelsea is going to be the toughest of all the opponents that they've met. It's going to be a tough one for them, but Chelsea know that they can't afford to make mistakes like they did against Preston Town, against Middlesbrough United in the Carabao Cup. It's a chance for Pochettino and his boys to play in the Carabao Cup final, possibly against Chelsea or Fulham. Whichever way, they know there's a big chance for them to win something or to go close to something, to mark their season in stone. It's an important one for them to look back at, especially in the development of the club. My name, Fiifi-Manfred. If you're subscribed, go back, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you.